Hi there, I'm Andrew. Welcome to Adventure Rider. Today we're looking at the Rev'it Trench 2 Gore-tex, which is new towards the end of 24 going into 25. And this is a fantastic item. It's a kind of crossover adventure touring product. It looks really nice and sleek and understated, and we'll tell you what it does and why this is of interest. So compared to something like the Neptune 3 that we just recently reviewed, this basically has all the same features as that jacket, but in a package that looks a little bit more understated. So if you're not someone that necessarily wants the whole garish adventure setup that a lot of jackets go for, this one will work really well in a smarter urban setting. It has an element of off the bike wearability, and it's just a little bit more simplified in terms of the external aesthetics, but it has basically all the features that you're getting, as I said, on something like the Neptune 3, but remarkably it's £100 less. It's a really good looking, very comfortable, very capable jacket for anyone that kind of wants one adventure touring jacket that could be used for pretty much the entire year here in the UK. It's got a fixed laminated waterproof membrane. It's a Gore-tex 2L liner, so it's genuine Gore-tex. It's got a really nice durable liner, and the best thing about Gore-tex or any waterproof laminated membrane, for when it's actually wet, it means that the outer fabric itself won't get wet because the water simply runs off by virtue of that membrane being bonded to the under of the outer side, and that stops you getting cold and wet and the jacket getting heavy. So it works really well. The problem you encounter is the second it's not wet and it is hot, and you find that suddenly having this permanently fixed waterproof membrane is preventing airflow. It says that those membranes are waterproof and breathable, but they're nowhere near as breathable as just not having them, and you really notice it when it starts to get hot. The usual approach would be to put in some vents, which is going to do something, but the vents are usually just single zips that don't open that wide. Gore-tex are not keen on people trying to do any more than that with the fabric because they think it will affect the membrane. Rev'it have a patented VCS Aqua Defense system, which is what we get on the Neptune 3, and we also have here in the Trench 2. And it works really well, it's super clever, and it is only available in Rev'it jackets. This is a large, it fit me brilliantly. It comes with level 2 CE approved elbow and shoulder armour included, and you can also get back armour and chest armour in this as well. So you really can have the full adventure armour package with it. It's AA CE approved, and it's just a really nice jacket to wear. It's got a removable thermal liner that you can take out and potentially wear on its own off the bike too. If you're doing more of an adventure tour, that could be useful to bear in mind. But this system is really what it's all about. It's very clever, it's very easy to operate on the go with either hand, either side. So there's one single zipper, and then you have this Velcro and magnetic fidlock closure system here, which is really neat and easy to use. And what you see is that it completely takes away part of the waterproof Gore-tex outer, and you just have this mesh panel, which is great for airflow. But to prevent any water being able to get into it, when it's closed, water might get through the zip, of course, you have essentially this rubberized guttering around the outside. This is patented to Rev'it, you don't find it anywhere else, and it does work brilliantly. It's so easy to access, and of course, this is the best way to actually get around this whole issue of having a permanently present waterproof membrane when you don't want it, because this just takes it out of the equation where you need it most for airflow to cool down. So it works really well. You've got a fairly substantial chunk here. Ventilation that you find stretching down towards the lower half of the jacket doesn't tend to do much because you're often sat down or blocked by things on the bike in front of you. As well as that, we have a load of practical features. We've got magnetic closure systems as well on the pockets on the waist, which is nice and sleek, and again, it tones in really neatly. This is a really gorgeous color that we have here. The Rev'it branding is equally toned down and matches as well. So do the reflective panels, which tone in neatly too. You've also got a card carry pocket here, adjustment options on the waist. It can be connected to a two-piece via the zipper at the back. As you go down inside the jacket, you'll notice a storm flap overlay, so the water that gets through there is going to get caught on this flap that turns back on itself, so it can't get through the central zip. Nice, easy, sleek Velcro. You don't need to over-engineer these things. A very easy to operate zipper, and there's your liner, which simply pops out with a few perimeter poppers, and as you see, you've got mesh underneath that with pockets as well, just protecting that Gore-tex membrane. So other than that, simple, comfortable, well executed, stylish. I think a really decent price point for Gore-tex 2L, and for anyone, as I say, that's kind of in the market for that, but not necessarily a fan of the usual slightly garish adventure look, this is definitely a contender for you. So any questions, let me know, and stay tuned for loads more reviews of great products from the Rev'it range for 2024, and of course other brands too.